So you want to be a detection engineer. If you haven't truly clicked on this video, it means you're in the right place. My name is Kenneth Ellington. I'm the founder and CEO of Ellington Cyber Academy, the creator of the ECA Cyber Range. And in this video, I'm going to be covering the detection engineering path, what you should learn, where you should live, and companies you should take a look at in those preceding orders. If you're new to the channel, thank you for showing up. You should hit subscribe in one of the top left-hand corners or bottom left-hand corners. Get more content from my channel and my team. And any questions or concerns, you can drop inside of the comment section. So we'll start off with the foundational piece. What exactly is detection engineering? Detection engineering is a reactive measure to detect threats in real time within the cybersecurity department. So let's say we have, credential harvesting on AWS accounts, right? Or we have root access on our AWS accounts, which we shouldn't have for certain users. You can create a detection engineering rule in whatever language you want to use to detect that threat or detect it when it happens. And then from there, you can put in measures to prevent it from happening. That's all detection engineering really is. And as it moves towards more of an automated feature, you can add more automation functionality towards it. That's what detection engineering is in a nutshell. It's honestly not that complicated, but it is very fun. So I've done detection engineering work in and out for the past, I want to say almost 4 years. I started when I was at technically in public, so no longer, but it is a lot of fun to actually be able to do it. Or if you guys are curious about my experience doing the cybersecurity thing, check out my profile on LinkedIn. It should be in the links below for you to check out. Let's just start. So if you're on the page, and again, it means you want to do detection engineering. That's awesome. What you should learn, or the key things you should start off with to try to learn to actually do this type of role. First thing's gonna be this way would be OS or operating system, OS systems. This is going to be understanding how Linux and Windows works in the back end. How does it send data? How does it data get around? How does it do all of that? All right. How does the kernel work? How does root access work? What actually happens for the backend systems for Linux and Windows? So all system fundamentals, operating system basics is going to be super important, especially when you're ingesting logs. You're trying to build rules off of that. If you don't know what you're looking at, it's very hard to actually build detection rules off of it. It's like Windows event codes, Linux auto logs, things of nature, so a good starting point. Or like Windows and systems administration is also a very good starting point for you to use. Next up is going to be, and I'll do a screen share for different links you guys can use for that too in a second. It's going to be data pipelining. So data pipelining. This is how data get from one end towards the other from a system. So if you're trying to move data from, say a router or switch towards a SIM platform, how does that work? That's more SIM engineering, but I still think it's really fundamental when they're actually building detection engineering rules. But that's how your detection engineering rule will function. So it helps out having more holistic understanding of how does that actually work in large enterprise environments. Next up is going to be, I want to do that. Now let's do this. Actually, let's break it down like this. OS, which we already covered, cloud, IAM, bar. And last from things you should learn from the data source perspective is going to be OS log, cloud logs, IAM, EDR networking. So we already covered OS logs. Cloud logs would be AWS, Azure, GCP logs. I'm adjusting it. So from auto log perspective, also for AWS would be CloudTrail, CloudWatch, for how those actual metrics actually work. IAM would be Okta or Entra ID, so who's logging on, who's logging off. Other than privileged authentication inside the platforms, where are they logging on to, and what time frame, things of nature. EDR, FDR logs would be extended detection response or endpoint detection response logs. So think of CrowdStrike Falcon, think of SentinelOne, think of Cisco, things like EDR, FDR. I believe those type of platforms, those type of logs, and the actual endpoints that they're ingesting logs and the security standpoint from it. Networking logs, it can be routers, switches, physical devices. It can also be firewall logs as well. So Checkpoint, Palo Alto logs, Juniper network logs, or was it that is your firewall logs or AWS firewall logs as well? Those type of things. These are probably the most common ones you will see in an environment, especially if you do audit or FedRAMP. But yeah, I believe these are the most common ones that I've seen throughout my career. Anyone can correct me in the chat or the comment section. So this is like what you should learn, and I'll do it in this order. And then I'm gonna break it down from a tool set standpoint as well, so you know what the most popular ones are. But at its core, these are things I would start off with if I would become a detection engineer now. Also learn Or you can also add in a scripting language or scripting, and you can add in Python, Bash, Linux. This is going to help you automate different functionalities and create custom tooling, like small little scripts and small little tool packages. You have to learn Bash. No, yeah, you have to learn. Well, Bash is Linux. I meant PowerShell. So you have to learn Bash if you're going to learn Linux, just from like scripting basics. PowerShell is one of those. And then Python is another scripting language and programming language that you might have to learn. I would say learn one, get really good at it, and then if you need to use the other ones, you can use the other ones if need be. I learned Bash, Python, and a little bit of PowerShell. I'm not an expert by any means, but I can survive with a gun in my head, if that makes sense. The next up is going to be tools. So a lot of firms are tool specific, and when they look at the resume, they want to actually see what tools and software you've used. So common ones I would use would be, and you don't have to use all of these, right? You can use a couple of them and just start off from there. But when you're learning these concepts, you'll get pushed towards certain tool sets for the most part. So I would say Splunk or SIEM/log management is the most popular SIEM platform and log management platform on the market still. Can I make this bigger? No? Yes? That sucks. It's wonderful. It's fine. Splunk is the most popular SIEM and log management platform on the market right now. It's one I've used primarily from most of my career. I've used Curator. God awful, sorry. I've used Microsoft Sentinel, I've used Elastic, I've used Logtail as well. Oh, and Google SecOps, so I've used a couple different ones. Splunk is the most popular one. Has the best libraries, best community groups, so I highly suggest it. That's the one you want to choose. OS, I already covered that. Cloud, I'll take either AWS or Azure. It's up to you. If you're going to use Azure, they'll probably make you use Sentinel or Defender. Sentinel is a SIEM platform. Defender is an XDR platform. Sentinel and Defender are Microsoft specific. IAM, it's going to be Entra ID or Okta, or just say Azure Active Directory or ADD. That's what most firms use nowadays, so more common one you'll probably use for any asset management. Firewalls are going to probably be probably networking. Networking really isn't tool specific, but if we have to pick a platform to use, Palo Alto or cloud specific firewall. Probably the biggest thing, EDR, the CrowdStrike, something long. So these are the various platforms that match up with the various log sources and data sources. If you're going to be a detection engineer, you'll probably more than likely will have to use a SIEM, an EDR, and then a cloud platform, so Azure, AWS. And then for scripting, pick one of these honestly, and you'll be fine. You can pick Python, Bash, PowerShell, and you should be more than fine. Again, just read. I'll show you job description if you can read and pick, see actually what it looks like. But more than likely, you guys will be fine for that. Just pick one of them, get good at it, practice it. You should be good to go. So this is what you should learn path. Next up is where you should live. See where you should live, and you can also Google this. So I go to Google, top 10 metros. Let's see. I can do it at the top of my head, but that's to see. You can specify down from like tech jobs, cybersecurity jobs in here. Yeah, this is about what I thought. So these are the top 10 most populous largest metro areas in the US. Some of these are going to be more tech heavy compared to other ones. Right, I live in DFW, so and then these are the other smaller ones, larger ones. So let's go from the top. So if I was suggesting towards you on like what metrics to take a look at, especially for emerging tech jobs, it's going to depend on what sector you want to be in. So if you want to work in the finance sector, for financial jobs, I'm probably going to say, or financial jobs in the financial industry, so like JP Morgan, Chase, Bank of America, I'm going to suggest towards you either like New York City or tri-state area, New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, or Dallas. So New York, New Jersey have the most financial jobs and most financial companies in the country. And second on that list is Dallas, Texas, or DFW area. We have the second most insurance and financial jobs from those type of companies across the board in general in the country. You can work in like government sector, like GovTech, obviously a DFW area is really bad for you. There's smaller markets for that. Think of like Huntington, Alabama, Utah, Texas is a big one as well. A lot of this is going to depend on what your goals are and what you're trying to do. And what type of lifestyle that you want, but you can easily, I can give you a quick list of what you should do. So I would say, for tech jobs specifically, tech jobs, I would say Seattle. By the way, I cannot spell it out. My biggest weakness. Can't be good at everything. San Fran or DFW, Miami area, it's a good one. DMV area, NYC. Again, these are These are all pretty large cities. You can pick smaller ones as well. So you can also Google like emerging tech markets. So you probably get like Charlotte, Raleigh, maybe Phoenix, Arizona, Atlanta as well. Like some of those more emerging tech markets you can pick. This is a pretty good start for you, to see. Again, if you're married and have kids, talk with your spouses about like what you guys want to do from that standpoint. But if you're young and you're single, if you're young in general, I would suggest towards you highly to move because you live in like Nebraska, you want to get a tech job. You're struggling. To be honest with you, it's gonna be very hard to find a job because there's not many technology jobs or cybersecurity jobs in that specific market. So you may have to move to find the job that you want to get. Since you're unsure about it, this is where you should live. If I were to choose, I'll give my 2 cents, my biased opinion. I would choose DFW because obviously I'm here right now. Probably DMV area, then DMV area, then probably Raleigh. If I had a choice, these are my top 2 choices to look for a tech job moving forward. DFW, DMV area, Raleigh, Charlotte, and probably 4th, maybe Seattle. My personal life choices, but everyone's different. The last of ones would be companies to take a look at. So the growing markets right now would be defense of DoD or Department of Defense, the big one that's hiring, medical, construction. Those are growing markets right now in terms of actual jobs to take a look at. So definitely take a look at those type of industries. But if you want to be a detection engineer and you're trying to start out specifically, and that let's say you are a mid-level engineer or you're a mid-level analyst, and you want to pivot towards more detection engineering, right? So that's the type 1 of this video. Companies you should take a look at. So any DoD contractors, look, firm contract for the federal government to do work. So think of Lockheed Martin, think of Boeing, think of Raytheon, think of Northrop Grumman, those type of contractors. MSSPs, think of like ReliaQuest, think of like Deepwatch, think of Binary Security, those type of firms that sell security as a service to different corporations. Those are going to be really good ones to take a look at for you. The reason being, I never suggest MSSPs from the standpoint of you get a lot of really experience very quickly, so you're able to level it up really fast and pretty quickly. It is very stressful sometimes. So people are normally there for like maybe like 12 to 24 months and they're up and out and they'll find something better. But you can compress, same as consulting, you can compress probably 3 years worth of knowledge within like a year if you're serious about it, which is what I did when I was at EY. Consulting firm, same as like the above for MSSP, for same reasons. Like I said, I cannot spell it a lot for me. Duty contractors, consulting firms. The other one I would probably say would be medical companies or hospitals. That's one kind of regional for us. I think it's Baylor Scott and White. It's the biggest one here in Texas. You live in Tampa, I think it's like Advil. They're normally hiring a lot of people, especially from the technical side, because they are understaffed and underfunded all the time, so it's pretty easy to get in. Not pretty easy, but all these firms are very smart. And so I know a lot of this advice can be applied towards a lot of different roles within cybersecurity, from like where you should live and like companies you should take a look at. So keep that in mind for any other videos I do in the future on that. And then I'll probably say a lot would be finance firm / fintech. Notice how I didn't say big tech. If you're starting off, I'll try to stay away from that. Again, if Amazon gives you an offer for $300K, probably take it in most cases if you're starting off. But I try to stay away from big tech in the standpoint of you do a lot of layouts very quickly. Work-life balance with people isn't the best, and it is very hard to get in. These are firms that are slept on, I think, or industries that are slept on. I'd highly take a look at to see if you're able to get in from that standpoint. So let me. Which would be things like Lidos, LidaQuest, Deloitte, EY, Wells Fargo would be my initial choices for people that want to actually get in. Obviously, there's a lot more you can do, but these are a couple of choices that I would probably choose. Okay, that's the first part of the video. Last part is going to be I'm going to show you like what these actual sites look like, a couple examples of different jobs you might want to take a look at as well. And I'll close up the video. But again, any questions at all, drop your comments inside the chat. Let's see, what's been so slow today? And what part do you want to go? Let's go with Splunk. So I'm gonna go with Splunk as an example, and all these companies have their own different sites that you can take a look at as well. Go to the job one next. Let's go towards security. And these are all the platforms that Splunk manages and has. Wow, it's very slow today. Let's see. All the way in. Let's see if this is faster. Type in detection engineering roles. Let's see. It's very slow. I don't know why. Into the pivot. Come back towards that. So I went on LinkedIn and I typed in Detection Engineering. These are the type of roles that appeared for DFW. Let's walk through a couple of these. So you'll see most common companies are going to be a little larger companies. So KPMG is a Big Four consulting firm. Verizon is telecommunications, which is another really good field to, or a really good sector to try to get inside of too. I would say you have JP Morgan, it's threat intelligence. You have threat hunting. Armis, I think, is a government contracting one and two. Again, see finance, you'll see a theme here. Finance, consulting, probably telecommunications will be the biggest culprits here that you'll see. Let's take a look. Data scientists, no. Let's see. So this is a job by KPMG, Senior Associate Microsoft Sentinel Content Development. And KPMG is a Big Four consulting firm, and the Big Four consists of Deloitte, EY, KPMG, and PwC. So for this role, your job is to lead Microsoft Sentinel and Azure security stack to create detection rules. They call it content development, but you're detection engineering, functionally speaking. So it looks like this is a California salary range. So I have to be a little bit less for Texas, but probably like starting off would be maybe like probably 75K to like 150 or something like that. That's the base salary range. You'll have bonuses with this as well. Bonuses is normally 10% for this. Like 10% for this type role up to. So another like probably 15K or so. The total comp should be like right around like between like 150 to 160. I try to aim for, which is really good. Especially for like DFW, it's a really good salary. So that's a one as an example. Another one would be this. This is Citibank. So this is cyber senior analyst. So you'll see threat hunting and then detection engineering roles put in the same bucket. It just depends on what the firm looks like. Sometimes they will be the same type of role, some of them will be broken apart. I'll do a separate threat hunting video as well in the future. So for the job though, it's hybrid. So again, cyber threat hunt engineer, senior position. What's my task will look like. Again, this is all on LinkedIn too. I taped in the video. Experience needed, so around probably 5 years of experience, which is pretty standard. You'll see the sim tools, the year tools they're looking for. And you'll see this very common. Splunk is one of the most biggest ones you'll always see for that. Preferred qualifications, these are the ones they really want you to have. These are ones they are okay if you don't have, but would prefer you to have. Hence the word prefer. This is more of their wish list, right? And then here is the range. So they're gonna probably try to give you like 170 or something like that, like 160, 170. Again, bonuses, so total comp's gonna be like between like 175 to like 200 or something like that. So again, it's very, very good. But the job are already closed. They just still have it up. Those are a couple of the ones that are local to my area specifically. But that's more that you'll have as well if you just go on LinkedIn or you can go on Google. So if you go to, let me see. Yeah, they're just being very slow with this. It's the last one we'll cover, but it's been insanely slow. Let's do detection jobs based off of my area. So here are some of the ones that I just Googled. This is what I got. So this is going to be McKesson, the lead threat detection engineer. So this is probably roughly around what my level currently is. The salary is between 140 to around 230. Which is insanely good for my area. It tells you the things you need to do, right? Some of the things you might want to cover for that. Again, even within this video, there's other things that you can learn and cover, like threat intelligence, detection as code, to keep it pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Other videos I cover more of the topic later on. But again, you'll probably get to see a theme for things you're actually trying to have in candidates as you go about with this. This is in Gardner. We're gonna have more job highlights, job descriptions, and you can click on the link to get more information about it. Yeah, these are what example job postings might look like for these type of roles. And then last, if you go to any security page where you Splunk Enterprise, for example, it'll give you an overview and briefing of what the tool actually looks like, what the platform looks like, and how to actually use it. So if you go to training, I'll give you training that you can use for it as well. You can specify what path you want to use, and you can pick what path you want to do. You can do security one. It's up to you. I'll give you lots of courses for that. But that's it for this video. Last closing notes is we just launched our cyber range for ECA. We have Splunk Enterprise Security. We have a custom map just for our members. We have live workshops and training centers as well for that. If you have any questions for that at all, just let me know.